and I'm continuing the story about my last 13-day September hike in Swedish Lapland. Today's episode is rather short, as the nasty weather made me cut my hike early and prevented me from taking too many pictures. My plan was to stay in Nallo Hut for another night and do a 14 kilometers round hike to Unaritas. As it's only 14 kilometers, I allowed myself to be a bit lazy this morning and wake up not at my usual 4:30 but around 6 a.m. Today I'm staying in this hut because I was planning to go on a day hike to a very nice place, but the weather is horrible. It's not only the rain but also crazy wind, so I don't know. I'm actually not tempted to go outside, especially since you can't really see much in this weather. But I'll think about it. I would also not like to stay in. I would like to stay in, but I would feel so lazy doing it. On the bright side, I will have chocolate mousse for breakfast. I've not one drip coffee bag with me, in case I'm having a bad day and want to have a coffee. And I think this horrible weather deserves me getting a cup of coffee. So I enjoyed having a long lazy breakfast, read for a bit, procrastinated looking at some hikers suffering outside. It was actually really nice. Nallo Hut is one of those cabins off the main trail that doesn't get many hikers. That night I was alone in the guest half of the cabin. The hut host came by to check on me, and we had a long, nice chat about hiking and trails. It was just so cozy to sit there alone, listening to the rain outside and the crackling fire. Eventually, I had to admit that the weather is not getting better, and I should pack some essentials, leave the heaviest stuff behind, and go out into that disgusting windy rain. Well, who decided to brave the weather and see how far I will go in this annoying rain and horrible wind? We'll see how it goes. Just crossed this river behind me, which is why my shoes and also my legs up to my knees are absolutely wet and freezing, because that water comes from some glaciers and it's really freezing. Yeah, having so much fun. The cloud is coming towards me. It was not in any way pleasant experience. My feet were wet after fording two streams. It was another hard to walk on extremely rocky area, with slippery and wet surface of stones adding another element of surprise. I was walking on and on, rather for the sake of doing something and not lazing around in the hut, than in an attempt to have a mildly nice day hike. But there would sometimes be a cheerful window or blue, giving me some hope, with the next wall of rain crashing that hope to pieces. I turned back before reaching the hut, because the wind is getting worse and the weather is getting worse, and I've been there last year in the same horrible conditions. I was hoping to see the hut and the lake in the sun, but obviously that's not happening, so I decided there is no point in suffering further and just getting the same result as last year. Now I'm heading back to Nallo Hut. As I was getting closer to the hut, the intervals of sunshine became longer, which was rather annoying. Why didn't it happen sooner? On the other hand, I was rewarded for doing this hike with some gorgeous rainbows. The rain did not end there, though. It was following me all the way to the hut, with some intervals of sunshine on and off. I'm a bit disappointed that I didn't get to the tiny emergency hut, but if you are interested in what it looks like, you can check the video from the previous year. I hope I would have already put it up before the current one. Yeah, it really didn't make much sense to go there again in the same bad weather, but I'm really happy that I decided to go on a hike, because I've seen some really nice rainbows and I hope you will like the pictures of them. But now I will be back to Nallo a little bit early, which is also a good thing because I'll be able to dry my shoes. They're completely full of icy water, and I guess I'll be able to rest a little bit, which is another good thing because my legs are quite tired after the last several days and I still have a long way to go. And this was pretty much the end of the day. I spent the rest of it cutting some wood, relaxing over my dinner, and savoring a piece of cake I got from the nice hut host. Don't worry, the next episode should be considerably longer, as I do have quite a distance to cover there. And I hope to see you there.